Most history and economics textbooks will incorrectly tell you that the world's economy started with barter. The problem with barter is that it revolves around a double coincidence of wants. If you have some wheat and you need a rake, you have to find someone who not only has a rake to spare, but also wants your wheat. This exchange may even be avoided over arguments about the quality of the rake and the wheat. Barter was never popular. In the economic beginning, there was debt, and debt wasn't good. Debt was and is tolerated by the masses because we are all indebted to our parents, family, society, and to God. For the first 2,500 years of history, people worked to pay off their debts to the ruling classes. Debits and credits were recorded without the use of money or barter at all. Since rulers controlled economies, markets emerged with debits and credits. While debt binds a society, it can also have negative aspects. The words debt and sin have similar meanings. Debt enslaves, so does sin. Debt can be imposed upon you by tyrants, created by bad personal decisions, or both. While the economy inside and between empires revolved around debits and credits first, and barter a distant second, this cashless economic system was vulnerable to hostile takeovers by foreign rulers through war. War was usually about money, and the people of an empire were the money of an empire through slavery. Money also began to increasingly revolve around gold and silver. The first biblical example of currency manipulation in the Kingdom Age offers lessons for us all. Genesis 47 details the economic and human effects of the famine that had a grip on Egypt. Joseph, a believer in God, was second in command of this pagan empire. This was because God gave Joseph the correct interpretation and content of Pharaoh's dream, unlike Pharaoh's pagan sorcerers. The dream focused on 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years of famine. Joseph ordered the excess corn crops of Egypt to be stored up for the next 7 years to survive the famine that he knew about in advance. He collected vast sums of money that people within and around Egypt were giving him for food as the famine became a progressive reality. But instead of recirculating money back to the people, Joseph stored it up. The end result of this intentional currency failure was progressive slavery for the people and absolute ownership for Pharaoh. Gold and silver were transformed from bartering commodities into currency through coinage. The first coins were issued in Lydia around 600 BC. Kings issued coins of gold and silver to pay for traveling armies. To collect taxes, a king demanded that his subjects, including soldiers, return a percentage of the coins. The only way for a subject to get these coins was by giving provisions to soldiers. A king could create more money by winning a war, confiscating foreign gold and silver, and recasting it into his own coinage. No one can do that with paper or electronic currencies. The words money and debt appeared in history at the same time, since coin money made debt possible and encouraged warfare. Kings have always controlled economies through the quantity and quality of coins, until such abuses end up controlling them. The world's first financial crisis involving coinage began during the Peloponnesian War between Athens and Sparta. Athens lost its access to the gold and silver mines of Sparta, but Athens had to keep paying its soldiers in gold coin to buy local goods and services far from home. A deflation occurred in Athens as it was sending its coinage out of the city to pay the soldiers. Athens then fell into the trap that all kings since then have fallen into. Athens decided to inflate its currency by debasing it. Gold coins were recast with increasing amounts of copper to expand the money supply. The world's first system of deficit spending progressed to the point where people no longer wanted the copper coins. Increasing trading ratios of copper coins to gold and silver coins developed. This was the first time in history where gold and silver had a price. The financial strain of 30 years of warfare made Athens surrender to Sparta.